Welcome back, guys. My name is Susie Kim. I am here with Wolf Schroeder, and we are now going to bring to you the second series of tonight. We have B Gaming versus EL Gaming.
This is going to be a great one, Susie, possibly the best one of the night. B Gaming, another one of our Japanese teams. We just saw Karen Tiger perform very, very well. Team Efficiency played the games of their lives, but still not enough to win that one. But B Gaming, another team from the same region, from Japan, to try to compete now, of course, against one of the best.
Yep, absolutely. EL Gaming being high up on that ranking chart, 24 points, and that's even including a disqualification.
That's
they
true.
Forfeited 3 points, and they're still 24 points up. You know, this is a team that knows what they're doing. They have perfect plays, and I'm super excited, actually, to see what they're going to bring to the table today.
Yeah, this is going to be really, really good. Let's take a look at B Gaming, though. Let's kind of refresh everybody's minds on where these guys come from and who they are. 7mm, Lolita, to the biggest, bestest players. We see Lolita switch in and out every now and then. Taki almost always in on an AMX. Neat Mania also on an AMX most of the time. Super Hiroshi usually on an IS-3. Nipa can serve a lot of different roles. Karaya can serve a lot of different roles. Tamati, starting to see this guy on the T-32 on mines.
Yeah. Well, this team, I mean, of the members, Jin, Nipa, and Karaya often do switch out for one another, and this team is a very versatile team. They don't keep with the 7 standard members. Now we're going to go into EL Gaming, team that needs no introduction, really. Reflection, God. Guanren, he's pretty much a god too. Black, yeah, I would say he's pretty damn good too.
Nice, one of the, I guess, lesser-known gods of the team. Spring, someone who rotates in and out. Flag as well. Nightmare. Fox, though, almost always a standard. Same with 9527. And Newman as well, the guy that is usually on that AMX. Really, really good player. Great accuracy, which is always important with an auto loader. So the team is solid.
It's a very solid team. Again,
championship, running team as well. They made it to the finals.
Yeah.
So.
But again, that roster, I mean, we only see 7 players playing at a time, but those are names that are very common to us because they swap out all the time, and they have synergy with one another, and they're just super solid team.
They seem like a lot of their player picks are related to maps as well, certain specific tanks. Guanren, always on mines, usually on an SPG, for example, just pointing out one of these very specific roles. All
right, well, the first map is going to be Lakeville, and we are going to go straight into game number 1. All right, guys, set number 1 is underway. B Gaming versus EL Gaming, and EL is going to be on the defense first.
All right, B Gaming is running 150, 100, 2 IS-3s, 3 T-54s, and a T-37, indicating that they might be doing a little bit more outside play on the mountainside for the attack. Elong with a 50-100, 1 IS-3, only 2 T-32s, 2 1390s, and a 12-ton, so a little bit more versatility in their lineup. The T-32s, quite curious. They're probably going to use them here on this little ridge that we see a lot of defending teams use nowadays instead of going to the city. And
wow, all right. Just like you said, they are definitely going to use this tactic where they're going to go up north and possibly go use the valley and or the pathway. This is very different attack formation, actually, from any team that we've seen so far. B Gaming is going to go that northern route. I like how EL has spread out. They sent several tanks over into the valley base capture while still leaving 3 tanks back at home.
If Guanren finds Bonsai, they could actually take him out here. I mean, he's already taken some damage, and Guanren could take a shot here as well.
Yeah, he can. Guanren is going to drive by, just make sure that he knows exactly where Bonsai is. Oh, but look, Super Hiroshi all the way from the other side of the lake, going to try and take out Guanren as well. They know that he's there. While Nipa and Neat Mania, they're going to go and try to go through this valley, maybe take this base capture, but what they don't know just yet is that there are 2 AMXs waiting for them on the other side of this.
Look at Black's position here. It's actually in a crazy spot. We've never seen someone position themselves quite like this. It is going to be quite a surprise, especially if he doesn't move, to keep that 6th sense off and just fires down on them. Super Roshi takes a shot again across the lake from the mountain pass. Oh. No luck so far.
Okay, I see what they're doing. They're waiting for the IS-3s to come catch up with them in the valley, and they're going to try to do a 4-man push down to this base capture. There's only 3 tanks waiting.
Look at Reflection's position.
All right, and
232.
yep, Reflection knows that they are coming. Everyone, get in your places. Black, you're gonna take your shots. Neat Mania is going to drive in.
This is Autoloader City over here with Black and 9527 in position to just put out gnarly damage. Karaya narrowly avoids that.
Spring is also going to join this party over here. Another AMX and an IS-3 going to join the Valley Side base capture. Nipa taking some damage off those rocks. He's going to have to pull back just a little bit. He is the T-37 after all.
Long has basically just read the strategy brilliantly, and they're just going to directly counter it by positioning themselves with these autoloaders. Black still hasn't shown himself, by the way. He's still up there, hasn't taken a single shot. They have no idea he's there, only if they look up, which would be a crazy thing to do.
This is such patient play, because everyone knows they're actually sitting there. Black finally takes the first shot. Look at everyone aiming at one another and
Nipa finally,
to get that perfect shot off.
Nipa finally knows where Black is, so he can alert his teammates, but Nice is now going to come over here and block for 9527, and once that happens, this is going to be a very bad fight for B Gaming. We're already seeing it happen. Nipa gets targeted by Black as he is spotted. Nipa avoids that shot, so stays alive.
Neat Mania is going to take a ton of shots here. It looks like 9527 is going to try to finish him off. Nope, it is Spring who does that, but obviously, this is, like you said, this is Autoloader City here. 7mm is going to take a ton of damage, as is Karaya. Members of EL Gaming just focus firing down on these tanks so precise, so well.
Yeah. And look at this.
That shell's not going to help you, dude.
Nope. Karaya does go down, and now 7 members of Elong to 2, Bonsai Attack and Taki.
Ring around the Rosie, and the Chaser actually gets shot at and died. Taki's the last man standing. He has 3 rounds, but I don't think that's going to really help him much.
No.
And that was perfectly done by EL Gaming. They, like you said, they read B Gaming so fast.
They read what they were doing. They checked the city. They saw the members in the pass, and they knew that it was going to be a push through the mountains. They set up perfectly for that. There was no way, because they lost their tier 6 so early, and he was forced out of position. Because they lost him so early, there was no way for them to know how well positioned Elong was. And by the time they had IS-3s halfway through the mountain, it's very hard to say, oh, I guess we should go back through the city.
Yeah.
They kind of had to force that to attempt to work. Black from the high ground really throwing them off there, doing a ton of damage. And it was basically perfect play. I mean, they didn't lose a single tank. It wasn't a perfect game. Like, World Tank's perfect game was like nobody took damage, but it's as close as it gets, basically.
Right. I'm just wondering if going the Valley way is, you know, to commit completely to the Valley is actually a pretty bad idea, because you can't really back out. Like you said, like if you're fighting in the town, at least you can kind of hide behind houses. You can back out and possibly throw someone over to the path side or something like that. But committing completely to the Valley just seems risky, especially against a team like EL Gaming.
Absolutely. If you go to the Valley like that, you're stuck there. You can't transition. You can't move out. You're just going to be locked down in that pass, or in the Valley either way. You know, in this case, kind of split between the two.
Right.
I think the city route is much better, with threatening players going with lightweights through there to try to disperse things, try to come from the back, threaten another capture, have the ability to fire from 2 locations, kind of trap those defending tanks.
All right. Well, obviously, B Gaming was found out. I'm wondering, do you think they're going to do that again, or we're going to see more city side?
I think it's time to do something different. That was a bit. I mean, once you see that tank list for the first time, you might get surprised by it. They've first of all seen it. They've defended it. It's a bit more of a gimmicky type play. Usually on Lakeville, we do see the attacking team in Game 1 do something like this. If they're going to do it in Game 1,
of course,
then they switch it up. So I think we're probably going to see them switch all their tanks and go for a more standard play. And I think that, honestly, Elong is probably expecting this. When you go into Game 1 like this, you don't have time to react to tank picks, because both teams do tank picks separately from each other and submit them. So both teams, you can't go, oh, he picked that, let's switch everything up. You see that for the first time and you go, oh, well, now we're going to have to deal with this, with what we've brought to the table. So Game 1 is always like that. It's very unique and very special, because it's totally blind pick the tanks. Now going into Game 2, Elong can make some switches based on what they think that B Gaming is going to do. B Gaming, of course, can switch it up or do the same. I think probably because what we saw from Elong was a tank pick to play standard, probably going to keep it the same, because even though it's not the best tanks to deal with what B Gaming did, they made it work anyways. So I think B Gaming going to switch to some more heavy tanks. I think that Elong is going to stay with basically the same tank lineup. I don't expect any changes from them.
Okay, I agree with you on that too. I think B Gaming is probably going to go city side, a little more standard.
Yeah.
See if they could test their luck with outmaneuvering EL Gaming. Maybe even see a Burt in there, just because little buildings and Burts.
Yeah, of course.
SPGs. I mean, SPGs work really well in building settings. So, you know, we'll have to take a look and see if they're going to do that.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see as soon as they're ready. So it looks like maybe a bit of a complicated tank swap, as it's taken them quite a while to get that set up.
Oh, I think they are set up now. Great. We're going to go right into game number 2. Huzzah! We are here, set number 2, B Gaming versus Elong, and Elong has taken the first set. They are on the defense one more time.
So, as you predicted, the Burt is going to roll in here for B Gaming, replacing their Tier 6. They are going more heavy with an AMX.
That's definitely a city build, isn't it?
3 IS-3s and 2 T-54s on the side of Elong. They're keeping it exactly the same. With those 2 1390s and 12 tons. So it's an autoloader city, as I said before.
Sure is. I do like that they have at least one IS-3 there just to give cover to those autoloaders.
Yeah.
Nice for him to do that. Good man.
Well,
good man. Nice.
Well said. We're seeing them move into position in the south again. Now, this time it's going to be a slow roll for B Gaming through the city. They're hiding their strategy a little bit here, but moving towards it nonetheless. And we do see that the Burt is heading to the north, and is probably going to shell through the other side of the mountain. The further away you can set him to where he's safe, the more efficient he's going to be, because he cannot be sniped. And he can basically hit anything once he gets into range of that southern part, that whole arc of tanks. He'll be able to pick and choose which one he wants to fire at.
Okay, Banzai Attack is going to go over to the pass. We've seen this before where they send one lightweight tank over to the pass area while everyone else is in the city. I feel like this is a pretty standard opener for B Gaming. I do like how EL is making sure, checking all bases, make sure that they're not going to go through the Valleyway again. And once that's confirmed, it wouldn't surprise me to see some of those AMXs head back into the city.
Yeah, the one thing I'm concerned about for B Gaming here is that their push through the city is very slow. In fact, it seems to have stopped completely. On the attacking side, you will eventually have to push through. It's almost as if they're waiting for the Burt to get into position before they want to do anything. But he's already pretty close to position, and one Burt is not going to disrupt Elong so much that that's the time to go out. Look at how careful they're being here through the city.
Oh, super careful. Everyone is just kind of hiding behind houses. Karai is going to try to take a shot first over towards this base capture, see if he can hit anyone at all. Obviously, he misses, but
the positioning is good for Elong, but it's not so good that it's not gonna prevent a movement through the city.
Yeah. Well, speaking of moving through the city, I feel like it's B Gaming who needs to do this. I mean, they're the ones who need to get to this base capture. If they just sit like this for 4 minutes and 40 seconds, Elong wins.
Yeah. So I don't understand why they're not moving. Clearly, this is not a disconnect, right? Because the rest of the members are still moving. They're still participating, and that would have stopped by now, no doubt. Okay, finally. I don't know what triggers the move now of all times, but they are moving now together. They're going to use the IS-3s to protect Taki. Actually, well, I take it back because Taki now very exposed there at the back.
But yeah, they are going to move all together. It looks like Banzai Attack was the focus of that fire, but it misses. They must have just been discussing strategy and decided, all right, now we need to move in. It is 4 minutes left of the round. And yeah, the parade of IS-3s are going to come through the main road through this little city here. They're probably wondering where the members of EL Gaming are. EL Gaming all over both base captures right now.
Okay, here they come. Looks like Spring will be the target as soon as they see him. Mm-hmm. And right now, Elong just not moving an inch, waiting for this move. They know it's coming eventually. Okay, they start to realize.
Yeah, they start to realize, and everyone's sixth senses are going off. They kind of know there's tanks about. There's tanks about, and now they really know that there's tanks about. Super Hiroshi taking a ton of damage. He's going to go down half HP. Look at the positioning of EL Gaming. These two tanks right here behind this ledge. Guan Ren goes down, however.
Yep, Super Roshi very low. This is a good maneuver here. Spring is still, he's not really shown himself. He actually fired once, but I don't think they know he's there because they're leaving him B, which means he can do a bunch of damage from behind.
Spring is just quietly, quietly
He's very
looking,
safe over there.
Yeah, he is very safe. He's probably just looking for the perfect shot to take, or like maybe to be able to pick off a very low tech. Neat Mania is going to come around, though. He knows that Nice and Fox are sitting there. Nice takes quite some damage.
Yep, he is going to be the one to block, though, which is really important. Taki trying to take some shots as well. Nipa looks like he will fall here. Spring, though, on a long reload. So if the fact that Nipa survives is important. Nice falls here. Super Roshi. And 7mm actually might be able to take Fox out here before he can fire.
I don't think Fox is going to be able to do anything. He's just kind of stuck here. And he's got the Burt firing at him as well.
That's why he's wiggling so much. He's avoiding that Burt fire as best as he can. He knows he's under attack by that. He survives here. Does narrowly avoid some more Burt damage as well. It's just the reload on the T-32 is so long.
It's so long. And here we can see 7mm just going back off for a little bit until he's got his shell back, and then
Bonsai attack coming in here.
Bonsai attack.
This is what you'd want against an AMX 5100. It's just a lightweight running in. Neat Mania to support as well.
I mean, 9527 can't do anything. He's got a 30-second cooldown, so he's just gonna sit in there. Black all the way on the other side. I'm sure he's looking to. Yeah, there we go. He's got to take a shot on Taki from afar, make sure that he doesn't get hit himself.
If we were at 3.5 minutes right now, I'd love B Gaming's position, but we're at 1 minute and 23 seconds left. If they can just deny this base capture, they're actually even going to possibly take this kill here with Fox. Oh, that changes everything, and now they just simply need to take a shot on this base capture. If Neat Mania is hit, he is eliminated. And all this time, the reload has been going on here on Black. He's got 18 seconds left. Spring as well, nearly reloaded. 11 seconds to go.
Black is just going to come and see if he can actually even ram in. I'm pretty sure he's going to try to ram into them or something.
He's going to distract them.
He has to. And while Spring is also going to head on over, Spring is back. He's got his full rounds. He can shoot. Bonsai attack takes some damage, and while he's distracted trying to take down Black, Spring is going to come from behind, make sure he shoots him. He's down. EL Gaming wins.
A nice little finish off there, and that will actually put them up 2-0. A very dire situation there for Elong, but they had time on their side, and then we had two tanks fall very rapidly there, one of them being the autoloader, the other one being just, I think, one of their lightweights. By the way, they lost two tanks right away. That lost them their momentum, and even though they had all that was left were 3 autoloaders for Elong, they were able to reload just because they were able to take that momentum away from them with those 2 tanks. So they were able to just simply rush in there at the end as their cooldowns were finishing, if you will. So really cool plays there. The 2-0 will be something that definitely sticks in B Gaming's mind as they now switch sides and they will be on the defense. I'm really curious to see how Elong is going to play this because I would not put it past Elong to do those outside strategies with a bunch of lightweights. They really can do anything, and they are ahead here in this series, so I think that's really important.
I think so too. And I wanted to talk about that SPG. After watching Appa's play, I just can't even watch anyone else play. I'm like, wow, are they really bad, or is just Appa's really good?
Yeah.
He didn't seem to do much damage on that Burt.
He did chip away towards the end a little bit, but there was so much time in the game that he was not able to participate at all. And I feel like the longer it take to actually use your SPG to start pushing advantages, it's almost like you have a lost tank for half the game, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Do you think B Gaming would have done better that round if they hadn't had the Burt and they just used
a C-37, a 12-ton, anything I think would have been better for them there. Especially because at that position where he was so far away, it's really hard to hit, and all it was taking was a wiggle to basically escape damage there on Fox, I believe, was the one who was dodging the shot. So not a bad tank pick, just didn't end up working out the way they wanted to. It took them so long to actually start executing their strategy. It took them forever to move through the city.
That's true.
And that cost them a lot of time, and time, again, is always on the defender's side. So.
All right. Well, hopefully time will be on B Gaming side now that they are going to switch sides, and EL is on the attack, which kind of scares me at the same time because EL, amazing at strategy and amazing at executing the strategy, and so B Gaming are just going to have to think on their feet.
That they will, and again, the first game always the scariest one because you don't have time to adapt. If they're going to use the same strategy twice, then you have time to, at least in the second game, prepare for it. But looks like the game's ready, Susie.
All right, game is ready. We're going to go ahead on to game number 3. We are in set number 3, B Gaming versus Elong, and Elong is up 2. B Gaming are now on the defense.
All right, well, it's not going to be anything too fancy here for Elong. They're running big, heavy city tanks, two 5100s and IS-3, two T-54s, which is very important to have that extra versatility on this map, I feel, and a 12-ton for the extra damage. Whereas we see 3 IS-3s at a 1390 for B Gaming, as well as 2 lightweights, the same ratio in the 5916 for the tier 6. So they definitely want to have that versatility while they defend here.
Right, and like you said, it's the first time that they're switching sides and playing on this map, right? So they don't know what the attacking team is going to do, and you're going to have to be prepared either way. Yep, and here goes EL. We can see on the mini-map, they're sending out 2 lightweight tanks over to the valley side, and the AMX is very up north. They're going to follow suit. And obviously, B Gaming knows that. They're going to... Oh, there goes Reflection in Black.
Yeah, 2 lightweights to meet them. And they're going pretty quick here. This is a pretty quick rush. Like, this is not as slow and patient, like waiting for the heavy tanks as we saw before. Now they start to slow it up a bit. And Taki and Neat Mania are the only 2 standing in their way. Whereas meanwhile, of course, B Gaming is worried about who's coming from the city. Those IS-3s are in position on the docks with the 12-ton.
Right. Well, obviously, the 2 lightweights are going to, Reflection and his buddy just going to sit there, wait for those AMX 5100s to get to them since they're so slow. But yet, once the 4 of them meet, this is basically the same tactic that B Gaming did in game number 1, where they had, it wasn't the 5100s though, it was the IS-3s at the time. But Taki is ready. He's taking shots. Reflection taking quite a bit of damage.
When he sees those AMXs are rolling through, then they definitely have to pull support from the south to come over here. Because it's not going to be a slow IS-3 roll where they can just kind of chip away and hope to start to work against the clock. This is some big damage coming down here. 2 5100s with full rounds are moving in now. Neat
Mania, you're going to have to be careful, dude. Black is on your tail. He's got to come around and see if he can chase you down so that you're exposed to maybe one of these 5100s.
The accuracy incredible right now for Elong. Not a shot missed yet.
Wow, absolutely. You see the rest of B Gaming, though, trying to chip away at Elong.
Notice how quickly Fox can switch between Neat Mania that he's firing at, and then the other tank, the other IS-3 that was also in his field of view. The second that he gets out of his view, actually it's Bonsai Attack who he was focusing on, who goes down now.
He sure does. Wow, look at that focus there on Neat Mania, and now Taki is the only one sitting in that same position. He's going to get focused down by 3 different tanks. I love that they all shoot at the same time. The communication on this team is amazing. That they're able to just be like, oh, are you guys all up? All right, let's do it right now. Shoot. And he explodes.
Yep. Karaya is now the last big line of defense here for the city. 7mm is being targeted by Nice, who has better accuracy, as you guys can see. And there goes Karaya. Now they can actually simply approach the capture point in the city. But they don't need to, because they've got 20 seconds left on the capture point to the west, which is going to be taken. The 7mm alone will never be able to deny it. Nice is just messing around here at this point.
Is it more like, are we going to take the base capture, or are we just going to kill 7mm?
They're racing.
We have so much choices,
They have to win if they're not going to win by base capture.
Why don't we just capture another one, too, while we're at it?
If we're not going to win by base capture, we have to kill them in 3 seconds. Can we do it? Base capture wins.
I don't know. They also killed him, too. I think they were just, timing it at the same time. They're like, we'll just get the base capture, and we'll kill him at the same time. They're just toying with him.
Well, that was a pretty one-sided battle there at the end of things.
Yeah, it was.
They could not deal with the AMXs from that location. They expected more in the city. They did not expect the AMXs to roll through. Once they saw them, they did react. But the IS-3s gave support from the docks as well as that 12-ton. And basically the accuracy was key. The focus fire you're talking about, the communication was insane. Watching Fox switch targets in an instant between aiming at
Neat Mania.
It was Neat Mania. Then he switched targets to the 1390 instantly.
Yeah.
He knew where everyone was, and he's like, okay, this is no longer a viable target. Let me look at this one. This one is. It was almost like I was watching an automatic turret, not a real person control that. It was just like the target switch. The reaction was instant. It was perfect. Elon is the best team in this league right now, Susie. They're showing it yet again. They
definitely are. I mean, it's their joy to watch. Just watching them be able to shoot and hit every single time. That's something on itself. You know, I don't know about you, but when I'm playing, it's like I know exactly what I want to do, and then I press the button and it doesn't work. You know, like that feeling.
Yeah.
None of that with Elon at all.
Just perfect. Basically perfect. That should be their tagline. It's like Elon Gaming, basically perfect. Like I want to see that underneath the bottom of their logo, just basically perfect.
That'd be awesome if like we check the website tomorrow and it's there. You're like, whoa. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Absolutely not. Okay, so now we are going on to the fourth game on Lakeville. Again, Elon is on the attack.
Last game on this map as well.
You think any minor tank changes?
I think they're going to stay more to the city. I don't think Elon is going to try that again because that's a risky strategy. It worked out for them. They executed it perfectly. But they could just play a bit more standard. Why try to rush heavy tanks through the valley when you've got a good strategy that can work for you in the city?
That is very true.
And clearly, B Gaming not very comfortable controlling the city.
All right, we'll see if that's true. We're going to go into game number 4. Set number 4, last game on this map. EL Gaming is up 3. B Gaming is on the defense.
All right, so Elon switching it up already. 2 IS-3s, 2 1390s, 2 T-54s, and a 12-ton. So a lot of versatility. It's almost as if they have considered both options, both attacking sides, whereas B Gaming is switching things up as well, only running 150, 100, 3 lightweights. So they want some extra mobility, and 2 IS-3s cutting out the 1390 entirely, but still bringing the 5916. Whereas Guanren is again on the 12-ton, where he's been going over to these docks and giving support fire. We're seeing it yet again. He wants to get an early kill on Nipa or anybody else. Just any extra damage he can get. Plus, with a 12-ton, you don't sacrifice that much if you lose it. And if you put him on the docks, he gets a lot of vision of their positioning and how they're moving to the south.
All right. Well, yeah, definitely different big start to the game than the last one that we saw. Already shots being fired. They've already spotted Meat Mania. And from across the lake, he takes quite a bit of damage. Look at that accuracy. When you see 4 tanks focusing on one and like they don't overlap, it's just so perfectly done.
Yeah, I mean, it's again incredible play. Now 9mm is running suicidally down in the middle here.
Yeah, he is.
And this is uncharacteristically bad play, to be honest. There's just no vision here. To run in there by himself is so risky, and he's probably going to be taken out by Fox here with the autoloader. Just reloading, or rather, setting up that gun so quickly. Totally worth it. Bonsai is now out of position to try to save it.
Karaya is pretty much out of position as well. He's just kind of peeking around the corner to only be faced by 2 tanks and 1 behind him.
More autoloader damage.
Yep.
Look at this. Spring comes from behind. It's totally wiped. Fox does go down, but he's done exactly what he needed to do. No worries whatsoever about losing him.
EL Gaming just has full control over the city. They are like the mafia of the city, and they're just like, why are you in my town, dude? Like, I know where everything is. Bonsai Attack is going to try to run away. I mean, on the mini-map here, you guys can see, and even on the big map, everyone is over by the path side now. They're kind of like, we're scared of the city. EL Gaming just going to pick us off one by one. But EL's the one who's going to have to base capture. They're the ones on the attack. And B Gaming really, I don't know, how can they come back from this?
Well, they definitely need to take a good fight here near the capture points. They do have still Taki with all of his autoloader rounds on the 5100. The lightweights are, well, they're lightweights, so they're going to struggle to do some serious damage because Nice is nearly at full health on his IS-3. Spring needs to be the priority target. If they can take Spring out, or even if they can get a kill on Guanren, that would be nice. If they can make it so it's lightweights with their AMX 5100 supporting them, then they can take a win here. But it's going to have to be done carefully, and they're going to have to try to slow this down as best as possible. The base capture is the issue as well. We don't ever almost see tanks capture this base location, but because Elon took control of the city so early on, the only thing they've got is like Nipa coming from behind to slow this down, and their lightweight firing across the lake, which is it's such a difficult position to actually fire
It is
from.
a really difficult position. I'm looking here. I mean, Juan Ren sitting there, sitting pretty in the 12-ton. Black is going to come and join him, making that base capture go pretty fast, 35 seconds on that as well. And I think Elong is confident enough that they know that they could probably pull this off.
Oh God, Taki. If he could get good shots off, it'd be so good. But
he's not in a very good position at
all. He's so timid, he's so nervous. And that is a mistake considering how much room they have to work with approaching that base capture. Black and Nipa are going to meet here in the city, and guess what?
Goodbye. That was...
A T-54 is going to beat 59-16 almost every time. That was sad.
That was really sad, actually. Oh, maybe just wanted to be friends or say hello.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, well, now we've got Black and Guan Ren in the base capture. And, yeah, I like where Black has positioned himself. He's kind of like behind like an outhouse kind of thing, and he won't get hit. Super Hiroshi trying to outmaneuver members, doing a really good job at this point. But, I mean, there's only 2 members left of B Gaming, 4 seconds on the base capture. Don't think there's much, ooh, they could do.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying here, but Super Hiroshi is just so low that once he gets ramped, he will fall. And Taki, with only 3 rounds left, 3 rounds is not going to eliminate this team.
No, he was way too timid earlier in this round. If he just came out and gave his all,
did his damage.
all. If he gave his, no, what's the word I'm looking for? His teammates some cover fire, then I think he could have done a little bit more.
He could have tried to push the issue a lot faster.
Yeah.
They really needed to do that. They lost control of the city. They had that autoloader advantage because they had a 5100, and he was the last one saying he didn't do any damage, so the damage was limited. They lost the game early on, basically, because they lost that early control of the city. They're just not very comfortable on that map, controlling the city part of Lakeville, the Ville part of it. They're good at the lake. They're good at surrounding the lake. Good cover.
They're not good at the Ville.
Nice moves on the valley, but when it comes to controlling the city with the heavy tanks, a bit concerning. Now we're going to the mines, which is very uncity-like, very terrain-heavy, the most technical map we have in the pool. So see what they can do on mines, because this map is very different, but I think it's one of Elong's best maps.
All right, we're going to go ahead and introduce this map to you. Here is Mines. We've got new, this is cool. We've got new video things.
See the cool reflection effects there on that water. Now don't be alarmed, the reflection on Elong usually doesn't go down that way. But as you guys can see, there are 2 points of contention here, and the movements here, there's basically 2 strategies. One is to control the
high
water.
ground?
Yeah, one's to control the water, one's to control the high ground. Those are the 2 locations that are important to control.
Here we go. We can see it from the aerial view. The attacking team is going to spawn up north while the defensive team spawns on the bottom. And like Wolf just said, the 2 points of contention, I can't speak today, is over 2. One's on the beach and one over on the east side, on the other side of the mine.
Well, so on the reason why we don't see the attacking side go rush the outside point, which looks like the much easier one to take right from the beginning, is because it's basically suicidal to rush that early. If your opponent gets wind of that, they can set up better position outside and above you. So it's very difficult to attack that location first. It's easier to go up on the road through the middle, control the high ground, and push your way down. There are some strategies we see IS-3s on the low ground of that western capture point, control that location and try to time out the capture point, actually get a base capture. But this map is usually decided by elimination, because capturing both points on this map is very difficult to do. SPGs are very popular on this map because it's very difficult to break a position once it is held. If you control the high ground, or if you control the beach, and you're basically set in this position where you're hiding behind these rocks well enough to take better shots and to take better engagements, the SPG is something that can help you force tanks to move from a distance, for safe distance.
Yeah. And like you said, this is basically like a do or die. Everyone kind of kills one another because those 2 points are very hard to capture. We're going to go ahead into game number 5 and see how they pan out. All right, guys, set number 5, and if Elong wins this could be the last one of the series. Elong is up 4 games. Here's the tanks.
Despite the fact that Elong is the one on the attack, they're running one less T-54. They're putting Nice on the T-32. We talked about this before. It's the guy who likes to sit up there up on those rocks with that. 150-100, and that's Fox. And Guanren, even though he has oftentimes brought the Burt on this map, he is actually running a T-37, probably related to the fact that they're on attack here. On B Gaming, that T-32 as well. One IS-3, so a bit slower, but a bit tankier. But the rest of their tanks are going to be lightweights, T-54s and the T-37 to roll things out on Bonsai. So we do see Elong is actually moving through the center right now.
I was just going to say, it looks like both of them are going to try to contest this mine area. Everyone is centered right in the middle of the map, and I think it's just going to be a huge shootout just to see who's boss. Neat Mania is going to take a ton of damage first.
Yep. Oh,
and
wow.
in fact, I think he's going to go down with one more shot, and knowing how incredible Elong Gaming's accuracy is, yeah, I'm pretty sure unless he moves way, way back, he's going to get taken out.
Look at the difference in positioning for the T-32s. Nice is in a perfect spot behind these rocks where most of his hull is protected. 7mm is forced to expose himself completely in order to do damage, which means that he basically can't utilize his T-32. He's essentially just an IS-3 with less armor, except on his turret. Neat Mania does take one more shot, and Nice will finish him off. Guanren takes some damage as a result, but a better position here for Elong, and they're starting to take a massive lead.
Yes, they are. And yeah, it looks like B Gaming is going to be bullied out of the mine high ground area. Wow, look at the accuracy.
A drive-by kill right there.
Whoa.
And look, Black is in the belly of the beast, and it just doesn't matter. No one can deal with this guy. Taki is on the chase on 9527. They're able to rotate around completely, avoiding damage. Black up here looking for a shot on Hiroshi.
He's just going to knock down
He's
that
just going to go. I
tree
think he might actually go down there.
No,
I see he's talking. He decides not to.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, EL Gaming just playing with so much confidence. You can see that in their play. The way that 9527 is able to just drive by, shoot, and know that he's going to hit, it's almost like they're just toying with this team.
I mean, it is very... B Gaming is an incredible team, right? They're currently, I believe, top 3.
Yeah.
And the difference in skill level between these teams is apparent. I feel like B Gaming is having their best day ever, but Elong is just playing as well as ever. Karaya up here is isolated now, alone, but trying to do some zoning work. It's just being down so many tanks and having this huge hit point deficit is going to cause problems. And Elong is not trying to force the issue on any capture points. They just want to win by elimination, or at least get into a much better position before they even attempt. Notice that Guanren is going around with Spring from behind.
Right.
I think they're going to try to take out Taki or Nipo, whichever one they get to first.
Absolutely. I was actually just going to point that out. I like the fact that they are all moving in pairs, and they want to make sure that one tank can help out the other.
We've seen Elong do this a lot. We've seen them do some Ghost Town, the 2-2-2 strategy, as I was calling it.
Absolutely. They are so good at that, and they work together so well. Karaya is going to take some shots from both sides, from the high ground and over by the beach. Look at that. Spring is going to take a shot, and then another guy from the other side is going to take a shot.
The positioning is so good that there's literally nowhere Karaya can hide. If he hides from them, he exposes his back and he gets shot. If he moves back from them, he exposes himself to the rest of the IS-3s.
And then Nice is going to be able to take a shot at him from over here.
Exactly.
And, yep, there you go. Karaya is down. They are at 4 tanks left now. Just a bunch of lightweights and one T-32. And yeah, Spring and Guanren now, they're just going to come in, try to clean this up. Nipa is going to be the first target. And if I'm correct, they're going to just focus fire him down.
If Guanren doesn't take any more damage here, I think this is going to be another perfect game for Elong. They're going to take it with 7 tanks remaining. Black slides down. I knew he was planning on doing it eventually.
Oh, going down! Fox is just going to ram him with his body. Super Hiroshi's going to be surrounded by 4 tanks. Taki is the last man standing, and he has no chance. He does manage to take Black down, though. No perfect game for Elong Gaming. Yep. But Elong does manage to win 5-0, and very convincingly showing us that they are pretty darn good.
Making it look apparent they are the best team. Making it look easy.
They do.
But, you know, decent effort by B Gaming. I don't want to take anything away from their skill. They did play well. It's just they got outplayed at every turn. And when you commentate a game like this, when one team is so far ahead from the outset, even by a positioning before a shot is fired, it almost feels like you're just trying to pick up the pieces of the team that's playing against Elong, because it's like, okay, everything they're doing is right, but they're just one step behind, and they're too many tanks down, so you see like these, like the Karaya got caught up with the IS-3 as being shot from every angle, not because he's making mistakes, but because there's nothing he can do.
There was nothing he could do in that positioning. I mean, for any other team, I think that would have been great. But for Elong, just knowing exactly the map so well, like, oh, this guy's here, we're going to have to place ourselves on opposite ends, and this poor guy can't do anything. Whew, okay. Well, so that was the second series. Congratulations to Elong Gaming for winning that 5-0. And we're going to take a 10-minute break, and when we come back, we will have TCSG versus the Immortals for you, so don't go anywhere.